There we are. It looks like everything's good to go. Alrighty, greetings everyone. I am Dr. J, and it's been a while since we've been able to stream on a Wednesday. Not since I think we wrapped up, what, Xenoblade a while back? At least as far as the mainline live streams, but still. Somewhere around middle to end of last year. So, been a while. But, now that I'm on the tail end of having to worry about 1,000,005 deadlines for the review channel, the only hard deadline I have to worry about right there is just finishing up a review for Tears of the Kingdom before the 1-year anniversary of its release, which is going quite well. I think I've got about 8 minutes of unedited audio I need to look over, and then I need to go through and do some retakes, and then it's on to the fun parts. So, yeah, I'd say today's been going fairly well, the week's been going fairly well, so my thinking is, since I'm going to be being a little more relaxed over the next few weeks, and given that I want to eventually restart the Golden Sun playthrough, well, resume, I should say, it made sense to me to bring the Wednesday night streaming back. Bear in mind, however, that this is assuming that I don't run into any sort of conflict or anything else of the sort, so, well, we'll see how it turns out, won't we? Still, since that it is the first time we've been back on a Wednesday, the first order of business for today is simple. During the last Variety Night, there were a few things that were tossed over in React submissions over in the Discord server, link in the description. And by virtue of that, I had tried to watch them in the prior Variety Night, but as it turned out, well, problems. For whatever reason, my computer was having trouble. I don't know if it was because I was compressing video footage and it just was having trouble on a CPU level. I don't know if it was an issue with just my computer being on for too long. Whatever it was, well, there we were. So we are going to catch back up on those today. And then, after we are seen to that, well, we'll get myself into trouble and give you all something to laugh at as I try and suffer through a battle in Fire Emblem Engage. I'm honestly not sure how it'll go. I'm 50-50 on needing to use a reset or two to get through it, so we'll see what happens. Still, before we get to that, let's go ahead and take a look at chat, make sure that I haven't missed anything important. You want to talk on Discord tonight or not? I have a headset and in the video chat right now. I know you were looking forward to this, but I don't think well, I'm not prepared to do that right now. Because, let me think. I believe that when you last tried to show me this one specifically, you gave enough of a preamble to where I should be able to follow along. I'll be curious to see I'll be curious to see how the video stands on its own merits. What else is chat up to? I've been playing Sonic Roboblast 2 and doing a ton of mods for it. It's a Sonic fan game made in a modified Doom engine. Huh, how's that work? Interesting. How would that work anyway? Well, either way. Hey Lou, how you doing? I'm doing quite well. Okay. Alrighty then. Thank you for being accepting of that decision, Gilgamesh. Alrighty, so, to start us off though, Lou made another thing. Okay, no, I'm not touching that. I'm way too far into the run to risk dying to a stray shot. Crypt key, huh? Alright, let's go searching with this crypt key. I'm sure nothing bad will happen, yep. That was a lot of damage all of a sudden. Oh, jeez! Hopefully the rest of you are happy with that arrangement. Oh man, that was glorious! Agreed. So, I don't have the clip to hand, but that was animation by our good friend in the chat, Lou, who decided, hey, you know what would be funny? Taking the most dramatic death I had from the last time I played Dead Cells, and, well, putting an animation to it. If I were to be a little more critical, it might... Well, let's see. Okay, come on, YouTube, work with me here. It probably could stand to be a little snappier for the points where I got hit specifically, but otherwise, yeah, good stuff. Good to see. Damn sight better than I can do right now. So, that's one done and dusted. So, let's look at the two videos that Gilgamesh asked me to look at. So, the first one on the docket was the Digimon dub Better Than You Remember. Just as a prelude, since that, well, so you don't have to go looking back at the last Variety Night to get a sense for what this was supposed to be about. The idea here was simple. So, back when, well, I think it was when I was growing up, around late 90s, early 2000s. So what, for a lot of English dubs for anime, there was often a clear effort made to try and effectively Americanize it. Take away a lot of the, not sure exactly how to put it, cultural signifiers to effectively re-tailor it to whatever audience it was being directed at. One of the biggest instances of it was onigiri within the Pokemon anime being relabeled as jelly donuts or popcorn balls, depending on the episode, which, why? And occasionally it would go so far as to redraw stuff, in fact. So, as a result, well, here we are. And as a result, so, according to what Gilgamesh said, Digimon was a rare exception, at least this specific Digimon show, where apparently all the Americanization that you may have seen with things like the Pokemon anime ended up not happening for this one. So I'll be curious to see what kind of intrigue there is, bearing in mind I don't have much experience with Digimon, and I suspect this is, once again, Gilgamesh's attempt to try and make me more into the stuff that he's into, but we'll see how that plays out. So, real quick, let's take a look at anything else I need to see in chat before we get started. I can try again next stream. Yeah, that's fair. We'll see what the circumstances are then. I'll probably have built up a couple by the next variety night, so we'll see how it works out then. Let's see. It's a hack dub that's presumably in reference to this. And then for Lou, yeah, the app is limited to payments, and I can't pay a membership for better styles, etc., etc. I'd be curious to know what software you're using then, because I've been tempted to experiment a little bit with an animatic just to try and get a sense for that sort of thing. It would be purely private, at least at the moment, because, well, there's one clip from my Three Houses playthrough that I really want to get animated at some point, but it's going to take a while before I feel good enough to do that. But there was a moment when my D&D group were playing Baldur's Gate 3 where I had the opportunity as the wild magic sorcerer to blow up the rogue and a couple goblins, and it was a glorious circumstance where I ended up, actually I might be able to play it, so the only hint of anything that you will get from it is, let's see if I can pull it up and I can just play the soundbite that I got from it. Let's see, server. Maybe I include this as a, where's it? Alright, let's make sure I play the right one. Here it is. I'm helping! Yeah, just that should tell you all you need to know about how things turned out with that explosion. It was glorious. Sadly, I do not have permission to share anything of that at night. That's usually how things work in that D&D group, since that everybody else there is, well, I think one other person occasionally live streams, but otherwise, there we are. Let's see what else is chatting up to while I was rambling. I think I found a newer app and I'm looking for another clip. Let's see, I'm specifically using Ipsy. I have to pay for a better resolution, aka bigger canvas, or custom canvas. Fair enough. Either way, there we are. Still, you can do a fair amount with a limited amount of space, even if we might, well, and to be fair, having less space to work with can end up, what's the phrase, limitation breeds creativity? So either way, that attended to. Let's see what awaits us for this. Hopefully, the video will actually work with us this time. Okay, we're already in better shape than we were during the variety night.
As a kid born in the early 90s, my first experiences with anime were pretty much defined by the era of hack dubs. Like we mentioned in a previous video, these were the end results of Western companies heavily editing and repurposing a foreign property for the sake of making it appeal to a young Western audience.
Alright, so and using the Pokemon intro as the example, so effectively what we had discussed earlier, so good of him to start with that. Let's see where he takes it.
Most of the time, the purpose of these dubs wasn't so much to preserve a show's original message for a non-Japanese audience, as much as it was to generate a brand that could be used as a means to facilitate merchandise. Saban Entertainment were no strangers to repurposing foreign media for marketing purposes, especially before the turn of the century when those practices were arguably the standard for localization.
And arguably still are in a lot of places, because you look back at some of the changes that were made to stuff like Fire Emblem Three Houses, and you can definitely tell that there is a certain, well, predilection for the people who did the dub. I remember one case that I discovered recently is that apparently it was just fine for Dorothea to be concerned about marriage, but Annette having that same concern was a bridge too far. No idea why they changed it like that, and to be fair, there's a cultural context associated with that might not necessarily translate, but then again, the localization team is based in California, and well, I'm a Texan. I'm not allowed to like Californians, right?
However, while that frame of reference might serve to explain some of the arguably dated anime dubs that were produced at the time, this reality can serve to make something like Saban's English adaptation of the original Digimon Adventures stand out for the exact opposite reasons. After reaching out to Jeff Nimoy, the English voice of Tentamon as well as one of the episode writers and story editors for the first 2 adventure seasons, he clarified that, as was the case with many shows airing on network television, there was a tight policing on what Digimon was and wasn't allowed to show. Even today, nothing goes on air without lawyers, producers, and a Department of Broadcast Standards and Practices seeing it first. Back then, there was a stronger stigma against repeatable behaviors, or scenes which display dangerous actions children could imitate. These scenes included handling dangerous objects, acts of violence, or substance abuse. And this was maybe most evident with any scene involving alcohol, as the staff had to get creative coming up with other interesting ways to show characters hitting the sauce.
Yeah, that was a common thing I remember for a lot of stuff, because I think you look back at Pokemon as the other reference point since we're talking about Digimon. The main thing that I'm aware of in that respect is both the game and the game in the Western market explicitly censored a case where someone was, I think it went from someone who was an alcoholic to just cranky, and then to just try and overlook that aspect. And then you had, I think, another instance in the anime dub where you see literal guns, and I can't recall if that episode ended up showing up or not, because I remember rewatching it a few years ago just out of curiosity and reminding myself, oh yeah, there were guns and they were pointed at the protagonist. That's unexpected. Different time back then, to be fair, and that was, although interesting that they got away with that, assuming they did, though knowing our luck they probably didn't.
いやー、見つかってしまいましたか。何？こちらの世界は思ったより楽しくてつい酔っ払ってしまったんです。
All right, but if I show you, you have to promise not to tell anyone.
Come on, show me!
All right, it's a bottle of green chili sauce.
It's great on tacos.
However, the Digimon dub didn't actually have much in the way of removed scenes or cut footage, and when it did, they were almost always kept at a minimum, such as quick cuts of characters' fists actually making contact with each other without completely omitting the fact that 2 characters were fighting.
Fair enough, so trying to get as close as you can, well, that's respectable at least.
According to Mr. Nimoy, time was a factor that needed to be considered because you can only cut so much and still wind up at 22 minutes worth of animated footage. The standard Western running time without commercials.
Yep.
Especially since some scenes already needed to be cut to fit Western commercial breaks.
I'd be curious to know what the standard is for Japanese anime then, or at least Japanese TV as far as commercials. Now that I think of it, that is an interesting difference because it's something we take for granted with a lot of commercialized TV back in the day, in that, especially with how common streaming is right now, with it having become ubiquitous with stuff like Netflix and whatnot, you can make episodes pretty much any length you want and any number of episodes you want, which in theory is a good thing because it means that you're going to be able to approach it and only have to tell enough of the story that you are prepared to tell, which in theory could lead to some really interesting stuff for miniseries and a lot more flexibility. Of course, the fact that, but back when it was, hey, TV's got to be running 24/7, we got to make sure there's always programming on this channel to make sure it's worth the airwaves and worth actually having this broadcast signal. You did have to worry about stuff like commercials and making sure that everything ran on a well-oiled machine. No wonder why there was so much oversight.
So when something deemed unsuitable for broadcast was too long to cut, sometimes the staff had to make the story work by dubbing over it as something else.
Oh?
For example, in episode 30, the main characters spend a few minutes attempting to hitchhike a ride from strangers, which could be deemed as behavior that most American parents wouldn't want their kids to repeat. So
yeah, that's fair.
instead, their dialogue was changed to looking for a taxi or trying to get the attention of a police car. Actions that still lend themselves to the footage presented on screen without much deviation from what the characters are hoping to accomplish.
Alright, fair enough. So, again, trying to target a younger audience and being all concerned about that, so nothing too out of the ordinary.
Police? That's his brilliant idea?
In the original version, the kids do actually get picked up by a random stranger who only stops because he takes a liking to the girls in the group. which was of course reworked so that the man was actually Sora's cousin. Aside from snippets of the characters holding up their thumbs, the only part of this segment that was noticeably cut was the scene right before them getting picked up, where Matt tries calling a ride, only for a grown woman to pull up and seduce him to get in the car. Bear in mind that not a single one of these kids is older than 11 years old.
Japan, am I right?
Not so easy, is it, Matt?
Well, at least my cat's not stuck in a tree.
But outside of similar moments of explicit material, the ADR staff had a large hand in what to cut to fit their story, and hardly ever seemed to abuse it. In fact, there appeared to be an active, conscious push to show that the series could find an audience with younger viewers without completely changing it into something that it clearly wasn't supposed to be. The Western insert song replacement for Ultimate Digivolution, titled Hey Digimon, sets us up with the overall premise. 7 young friends go to camp for the summer and wind up living in a digital land, but the baggage they carry with them throughout their whole journey could come off as more relatable than anything other localized anime dared to even acknowledge at the time. While it's true that every main character in the series can be defined by a dominant character trait, which easily fit them into stereotypes that kids could find appealing, not only did the show embrace them almost unapologetically, but it even found the time to show that at least some of those traits could be grounded in relatable real-world issues.
I sadly don't know enough about a lot of commercial TV to be fair to comment on how common or otherwise that was. Most of my parents didn't have cable, so most of my entertainment came from, video games for one, and PBS was basically the only thing that we watched for a while.
I kept saying TK needed me, but really, I was the one who needed him. What do you mean?
Matt wasn't just the typical moody lone wolf rival. He was a child of divorce, actively trying to act cool so he could be seen as strong and reliable to his younger brother. Whenever he clashed with Tai, who aligned himself more with the typical hot-headed shonen protagonist, it almost always felt more like an outlet for dealing with an ever-growing inferiority complex than it ever was just a petty rivalry.
I simply can't understand this preoccupation with who you are. Is there some kind of deep, dark secret in your origins? Oh, well...
Well, just based on that dialogue snippet alone, it sounds like it might have been a little heavy-handed, but then again, I don't know how much you could have gotten away with the format, so I'm not in the place to judge. They kept a cat fight between an angel and an evil lady? Oh boy. Do I even want to know the nature of that fight? Probably not.
Izzy wasn't just a socially awkward computer nerd. He was a kid who discovered he was actually adopted at an early age and had to come to terms with how he felt about his parents, after discovering that they had been hiding this fact from him. While we've seen what heavily bogging down, viscerally violent subject matter had done to shows like One Piece when they were first localized, we shouldn't forget that difficult real-world living situations were also commonly cut or altered. Granted, tiptoeing around Joey Wheeler's family situation in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or tweaking Chun-Li's alcoholic father in GX might not have affected the main overarching narratives of those shows. However, while troubled family backstories and personal self-reflection sound minor in a story where the end of the world is constantly at stake, the main characters need to come to terms with those insecurities and fears in order for their Digimon partners to get stronger.
Okay, so in that respect, even if they had wanted to cut those out, they couldn't necessarily have done so without compromising the story in and of itself. So in some respect, even if they had wanted to go all out, they really couldn't. Interesting. Fair enough.
Removing or replacing this context with something less intense would not only cause the very impetus for story progression to change, which could bleed into every other aspect of the show's localization, kind of like what ironically happened with One Piece, but when you're
Would it be irony or coincidence in that case? Me being pedantic.
given that additional context, it could arguably make these characters feel more like real people.
Everybody thinks that he's always perfect, but that's too much to expect of him. We've got to give him some freedom to become his own man. You know, he's got to make mistakes. That's part of what it is to be a kid. Don't you think so?
As fun and imaginative as it could be, Digimon wasn't just a silly power fantasy without consequences. Force or push that growth artificially, and the show will make it an active point to remind you just how much worse things could end up. As long as something dangerous wasn't literally shoved on the screen, then the staff seemed to think that there was no reason to remove these important moments of character introspection. And in hindsight, maybe drawing the line there explains how the series was able to keep its cultural roots. not hiding the fact that the story took place in Japan and keeping the cast canonically Japanese, something that was exceptionally rare for anime that was localized during the 90s.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I can't think of too many examples where that wasn't changed from back then. Then again, I don't know of too many examples either, hence probably not the best person to be reacting to this by virtue of that, but interesting stuff so far. And any major impact of this video from me is negligible anyways, given the fact that, well, this came out 4 years ago. Good stuff so far. Let me think. And I lost where my other train of thought was going. Great.
Japanese text wasn't edited out, Japanese cities were regularly called by their proper names, and while a few of the characters' names themselves were changed, these acted almost more like suggestions rather than full-on replacements. Characters like Tai, Matt, and Izzy had their names abbreviated into nicknames, but in the first episode you see their full Japanese name displayed. Granted, I have no idea why Tai's surname was changed into a completely different one that was still Japanese, but I digress.
Well, you can't have everything, can you?
I'm aware none of this may sound impressive or surprising by today's standards, where Japanese studios are more protective of their properties' overseas identities, and most dubbing companies do everything they can to preserve the spirit of the original material.
Yes and no. Have you seen, well, there are still instances in the current year where there are problems, because I think the big one that went around a few years ago was, I think there was an English dub for Dragon Maid where they decided to, well, say, hey, we've got a suggestive anime with, well, basically just over-exaggerated dragon ladies. Clearly, we need to include a message about the patriarchy in this, instead of the original line. Clearly. Yeah, that totally works. Yeah, well, what can you do, besides complain bitterly?
But I think sometimes we get so caught up in the dated cheesiness and puns of days long past that it's easy to forget just how seriously something like Digimon was trying to treat its younger audience. Maybe the reason why Digimon still has a place in the hearts of so many Western anime fans is because the English version of those characters still showed us that we weren't alone going through similar struggles, and that sometimes relying on others to help you come to terms with those situations isn't such a bad idea.
Oh, I just remembered the train of thought I had from earlier. So, it was curious to me that you could get away with saying anything, for lack of a better phrase, or for lack of a better term, but showing something is where the line was often drawn. Because, sure, you can't necessarily show alcohol being drunk, but at the same time, and you can't necessarily show fighting between two of the main characters, but you can certainly heavily imply it, and you can talk about all sorts of other serious subject matter without any concern. Almost sounds like something, well, almost sounds like a similar principle behind a film like The Land Before Time, actually. Because just the fact that, hey, we are going to imply a lot, we're not going to shy away from a really serious moment especially, but, I mean, we're not going to show that, but because for obvious reasons, but still. Interesting to think about. I wonder why there's that distinction.
Since then, I've been alone. I figured if my family didn't want me, then I would just keep to myself and never tell anyone what I was feeling. And I swore I would never let anyone see me cry. But really, all I wanted to do was cry.
This is not a novel concept by any means, especially for children's programming, and the dub will go out of its way to constantly beat that message over your head with as much additional off-screen dialogue as possible.
Well, one would argue that that's a bit overboard then, because again with that snippet, I'm sat here going, what was the context that led up to that scene? Because, granted, given that it's not a real-life background, you can assume that it is somewhere either in the digital world or some sort of moment where they actually can reflect on the circumstances. So I'm sat here going, that is very on the nose. That's something that you would expect of someone to say to a counselor after, what, multiple sessions of having trouble actually verbalizing it. So, I don't know. I don't know enough about the context to say whether it would or would not work. What, is this the whole ploy to try and get me to watch Digimon Gilgamesh? Is that what this is all about? Besides the usual shenanigans. Oh, hey, Lights, how you doing? See, I believe he's in a cave for that scene. That doesn't give me much context. I want to know why. Okay, it is the digital world, so... Doesn't give me enough context, I feel, to explain the situation, but then again, I don't know the scenes before it, so either way.
But building that message as the solution to feelings that can, at times, even be hard to explain to adults shouldn't be downplayed.
I pretended to myself I hadn't heard anything. Then I made believe I'd misunderstood. Then I tried to wipe it from my mind and just act like everything was the same as before. But it wasn't, and I didn't mean
Your
to,
voice
but I
sounds
just started
familiar.
drifting away from you a little more each day.
I wonder if there were any kids who were going through similar issues at home or in their social circles that ended up seeing a little of themselves in these characters. If you didn't end up relating to them back then, maybe you'd find yourself relating to them now.
I've got to be the cautious one around here.
I can firmly say that as a kid, my least favorite character was Joe Keto, because compared to everyone else, he was this neurotic pessimist who didn't know how to have fun. But now I see the pressure he tried carrying to look after everyone and why he's seen as the most reliable of the group. Sora feeling depressed despite so many people looking up to her because she thinks she's not worthy of being loved is a state of mind that I still struggle with to this day in my late 20s.
Okay, that is a pretty strong character motivation, because it's actually kind of funny because I finally cracked and read the Stormlight Archive after pressure from my D&D group, and one of the main characters in that has a very serious struggle with depression, which is made even worse by an even more difficult life where it seems that the world is just constantly trying to beat him down. And there ended up being a line in, I think, the latest book, at least the latest published one, where they know at that point it is effectively public knowledge that, hey, the character is struggling with something that's serious, but then you have this inspiring moment where he's having to effectively be forced to live up to this legend that he doesn't feel he can live up to. But then you see just how people respond in relation to him. And there was one poignant line where we know he's dealing with all this, and yet he's still this amazing person who watches out for all these people, and so makes me feel like I can get up as well. So interesting to look at. And this is coming from a story that does not hold back from a lot of very serious stuff, too.
And even TK, the youngest character in the show, has to confront the fact that his friend dies in front of him. This was arguably circumvented by the fact that Digimon reincarnate, but when they do die, it's treated as a legitimate death with a lot of emotional weight.
I don't have any regrets. If I hadn't met you, my life would have had no meaning. I'm glad that you and I were friends.
So in that case, if the deaths are treated seriously, but there's a degree of reincarnation, I'd be curious to know what sort of significance the death has. Is it like the Xenoblade 2 Blades where they lose their memory? Do you have to go on some grand adventure to reclaim them? I'd be curious to know exactly why that would be the case. Well, that's interesting.
I can only speculate as to why Digimon was handled in such a way, but even allusions to ghosts and other religious symbols were usually preserved, despite that still being a touchy subject for so many properties across different platforms of entertainment.
Just
it's
a
possible
bit.
The writing staff had an idea of what kids could handle and trusted that they could understand what they were supposed to take away from the series. Despite acts of violence being edited out, the context of those actions remained. Kids still fought over not understanding each other's feelings, even if we never actually saw a single punch connect. And the physical, emotional scars left by our villains were still exposed, even if we didn't get to see exactly how they were inflicted. We were given an idea of what evil people were capable of, and this might have been kept in because it's an important thing for children to distinguish at a young age. Not only did that help reinforce our desire to see the villains get taken out by the good guys that we could relate to, but it also helped give kids a proper frame of reference regarding what a bad person in the real world might actually do. Given the show's success, that might have set the standard moving forward as subsequent seasons would handle even darker subject matters. Tamers is still beloved by Western anime fans to this day, specifically because we were allowed to see how dark it could possibly get. But even in Season 2 of Adventures, coming to terms with feeling responsible for the death of others was still a very prominent thematic beat.
Yeah, that is a strong subject matter for a kid's show. Jeez, that's rough. What's Chad up to? Izzy is voiced by... I'm curious. I'm going to look that name up real quick. trying to think if I recognize it from anywhere. Let's see. Option book. This is probably my best bet. Do I recognize you from anywhere? I could be searching through this list for a while. A lot of anime dubs, which makes sense. Interesting. Oh, never. Okay, that's why. I'm not going to say the name of that. Okay, so a couple of cartoons that I've seen bits and pieces of. That makes sense. Alright, fair enough. Anything else? Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Back to the video.
Not again. Wormon's gone, just like my brother. I was helpless to save him, and now I can't save Wormon either.
Granted, that desire to maintain as much as possible didn't always work, as sometimes those aforementioned expectations of the era will get in the way of the dub's ability to communicate these ideas as effectively as the original version.
Well, yeah, that's to be expected.
Still had its entire soundtrack replaced with music that felt like it had its fingers firmly on the pulse of what was popular in America at the time, with silly, triumphant-sounding horns blasting in the background, as if the producers were terrified that any moment of silence would run the risk of boring any children watching. Episode editing might have been limited, but everything can still feel rushed, leaving very little room to breathe when paired.
Well, yeah, if you're having to cut out a decent amount in order to maintain the 22-minute stuff, that is entirely unsurprising.
With so much of that extra aforementioned off-screen dialogue. I respect the writing team for properly adapting as much of the show's humor as they could, because sometimes those supposed moments of tonal whiplash were carried over from the original series.
Oh yeah, and that's always an interesting conversation to have, and something I'm mulling over for Fire Emblem Engage right now, actually, because I remember when I was reviewing Three Houses, I basically said, hey, there are major localization problems here. Please don't let them be an Engage or the next Fire Emblem, since we didn't have a name for it when I made that review, or that's going to be a deal breaker. And then it turns out that, well, the localization was the least of that story's concerns. My God. Ugh, I've got... The more I look at it, the worse it gets.
But while there were moments where proper workarounds were found for more Japan-centered references, others can still come off as incredibly awkward.
Bakuman, lose your power. Bakuman, lose your power. Bakuman, lose your power.
Plus, we can't just ignore the various jokes and puns that were crammed into almost every other scene to help make the show carry an overall lighter tone than what could be found in the original.
Hey, Dad, are we there yet? Sorry, I just had to say that.
Really?
However, if anything had to be cut or altered in Digimon, I'm glad it wasn't its heart. Throughout almost every season, Digimon as a franchise showed us that you don't always have to have the literal weight of the world on your shoulders for life to feel daunting and confusing. In fact, it's almost never going to stop feeling that way even as we get older. When you put your trust in the right people who can help you find something in yourself nobody else might have, then that's when you have the potential to grow stronger and rise to the challenges that lie ahead. After all, Digimon weren't the only ones who could evolve and change their forms into something special and new. Regardless of how the franchise is seen now, imagine what would have happened if so much of these details weren't preserved. Would so many Western fans facilitate a rapport so deep that it would continue to span generations? There's still so much about the Digimon dubs that I don't know about, and I would love to do a follow-up in the future that answers some of these questions, should the opportunity present itself. But for now, I think it's enough to simply look back, respect the fact that there were so many people working on this show who treated us kids with a little respect, and smile, after being reminded that even now, us Digidestined were never alone.
Alrighty, there we are. So that's the video. So that was a channel called...
So a few special thanks.
Let's see. So that was a channel called The Cartoon Cipher. So let's see. Is there anything... Well, is there anything more important? Let's let you give your spiel at the end.
Thank you are in order. Firstly, to Jeff Nimoy for proofreading parts of this script and answering my questions so I could have a better understanding of what the dub's production was like.
Ah,
As
good.
well
Going
as
to the
Marissa
source.
Lindsay
Excellent.
for helping me go over noteworthy examples, proofreading, and just being an amazing Digimon fan who helped inspire this video. Finally, thank you to everyone tuning into this and to our patrons for supporting this channel, including Maria.
Alrighty, so just gonna read off the patrons. Fair enough. So there we are. Alright, that's video number 1. So let's take a look at everything else. So, actually, real quick, I'm trying to think if there's anything more that needs to be said about this, but since I don't know too much about Digimon, that's where my ability to comment on it ends. Either way, let's see what else everybody's up to. See, you're not playing video games this time. Yep, I've got a reaction video backlog to deal with. Don't worry, we'll be getting to video games later. I'm trying to plat Dark Souls 1 right now. Good luck. I'll just chat up to... Let's see. Death in the real world is treated as permanent, but no creature... Well, but creatures do not effectively die in the digital world? Okay, fair enough. The first villain of Digimon Adventure is literally the devil. That's his name. Oh boy. And a comment from Lou. Much action. Why would you put that button there, YouTube? Come on. Okay, so Lou's just being silly with that comment. Alrighty. So that's all that needs to be said about that one. What sort of content have you put out? I'm trying to remember if Gilgamesh has asked me to watch any of your videos before. Let's see. Oh boy, that ought to be an interesting one. Looks like you haven't posted in a while though, but... Okay, so it looks like you effectively specialize in talking about dubs for the few times that you are, well, that you do talk about it. So it looks like you don't post super frequently, but still. There we are. Alrighty then. So, I have 2 videos. One is silly, the other is serious. Was that the serious one or the silly one? Or are these something new that I'm going to have to worry about next week? I was only planning on watching what's currently in the backlog right now, not anything more that you throw in tonight. Unless you count the Torna video you threw in React submissions recently. Unfortunately, I've seen that one. That channel is a goldmine. Either way. So, with that in mind, we'll go ahead and see what this one has to say for itself. So, let's take a look at the channel that produced this one. Okay, so... Very simple. Alright, so... Why games are too big? Excuse me. I'm tempted to pull up I'm tempted to log into my account and just add that to my watch later. That sounds like it would be a fascinating topic. Let's see. Alright, so primarily talking about video games by the looks of it, so good stuff. Alrighty, so I guess then we'll go ahead. Yep. Oh, the Tornin one was the silly one? Yes, unfortunately I have seen that one. I had ended up encountering basically all of that channel's This Is X for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so those were very amusing, if only for some of the edits and reminders or discovering things like post-combat dialogue that I hadn't heard, but fun times abound with that. Fun times abound. Simpleton. Either way, smoother animation does not equal better animation, so just based off the title, the first thing that comes to mind is, well, I mean, yes, but what's the context? So I guess that's going to be the question at hand, because it looks like the channel primarily focuses on video games, at least as in more recent times. So let me think. So in terms of just an animated TV show or something to that effect, or even a cutscene, you could argue, you don't necessarily need to have it at 60 FPS all the time, because the primary reason that you hear PC gamers like myself clamor on about 60 FPS at minimum is because the reason isn't necessarily because of the visuals, although there is a certain novelty to seeing 60 FPS because of how infrequently it shows up in modern games. But the reason why is because of the response rate. Because by virtue of the fact that, hey, we're seeing twice as many frames in 60 FPS as opposed to 30, that means we have a greater opportunity to respond to whatever is happening in the moment. Furthermore, there are certain games that the game speed ends up being tied to the frame rate, which surely we'd know not to do by now, but I have run into instances with both with Xenoblade 2, funnily enough, and I think Hyrule Warrior Age of Calamity, where if you're playing this ladder in co-op, oh god, that it noticeably slows down and it throws off the timing on how effectively you're able to do stuff like Perfect Guard and Flurry Rush, which, pain. So, I don't know why it's like that, but there we are. So, because of that, we make a big deal out of it from a gameplay standpoint, and there is a certain novelty to seeing, okay, so if we were to try and add extra frames for something like a DreamWorks film, there is a certain novelty to that, but it's not really necessary per se. It's because in order to mimic motion in just a bunch of flashing images, you only require around 24 frames per second, but most people just use 30 FPS as a result, they just treat 30 FPS as a bare minimum for gameplay, or at least a lot of people do, so I'll be curious to see what the video has to say for itself. All animation used in this video is linked in the description in order of appearance. Alrighty then.
I'm mad.
Alright.
And bleeding. Tom and Jerry made 6.
And, okay. Is this where my computer decides to go haywire? Oh crap. Come on, really? We had this problem last time. What? You know what? I'll just refresh the page. That'll make it easy. Okay. Damn it. This issue again?
I'm mad.
I'm going to attempt to restart Brave.
And bleeding.
What the hell? Okay, give me a second. I'm going to switch to a black screen for the moment. What the hell? I thought we were past this, damn it! What is wrong with my computer? Alright. It has been shut down. Brave has been restarted. Lazy display.
I'm mad. And bleeding. Tom and Jerry made 60 FPS using AI. Interpolating pixel art with AI. Even a simple animation can be made fluid and lifelike using AI. Boost your animation to 60 FPS. AI's enhance. Animate to 240 FPS.
Okay, no, this isn't the time for you to be breaking, Brave. What the hell? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna... Oh, damn it. Do I need to inspect element to get rid of some of this crap? Or am I just gonna have to live with this? Well, okay. Let's see if I can at least get through it this way, which is not ideal in the slightest, but let's see if we can at least get through it.
Can be made fluid and lifelike using AI. Boost your animation to 60 FPS. AI's enhance. Animate to 240 FPS. What Lula?
Okay. Do I just need to... I just thought of something that I might be able to do. Hang on, I'm gonna... Let's see... Actually, better question. Task Manager, tell me what the hell's going on. Okay. Ban this. Alright, I'm gonna have this open. Oh, my graphics drivers are up to date. OBS shouldn't be the cause. Let's see... Guess your computer hates YouTube? That's what's weird. It literally never has this problem normally. Okay, next question. When was the last time I defragged the hard disk that the local copy is being copied onto? Let's see. Defrag. Okay, so my SSD needs optimization, but that's not what's being worked on right now. 4%. Okay, honestly, okay, I think that might be it. Okay. Damn it. And, okay, I think I know exactly what the problem is. Okay, so... General. output. Here we are. So, I think I know what's going on here. So, here's my best guess as I troubleshoot. Okay, so, let's see if I can bring this up properly. So, lazy display. So, no, I don't need to show that part. So, according to the defrag and optimization tool, the last time that this was... I don't know when the last time it was defragged was, but apparently it's at 4% fragmented right now. Oh, you see that? Alright, it looks like I'm going to have to... Actually, no, I don't think... Let's see, was there anything on here that... It doesn't look like there's anything on here that is necessarily incriminating, so that can be left alone. Okay, so... Actually, maybe pin that from quick access. I don't need the... Actually, why was that even still pinned? I thought I deleted that. I deleted that folder. Why was that still there? Anyway, so I think what's going on is... So my main YouTube drive, where all of my raw recording happens, is at 4% fragmented. And if I open settings right now, for output, these are the settings that I use. And so, it might be hard to see because this is a 4K screen that's expanded to 1080p, but what I'm doing is I'm using my graphics card in order to encode the video. But if it's having to worry not just, well, but the problem is when you have a fragmented drive is that, especially for large files, you can end up in a situation where, hey, we've got one file, quote unquote, that's spread out over multiple chunks throughout a hard disk. What do? So I think that's what's going on. And because my GPU is having to account for that as it's recording, it's going haywire. Because whenever I watch YouTube, when I'm not recording, no problem whatsoever. I think that's what's going on. So we are going to refresh it once more. And if it doesn't work, we're just going to have to move on, unfortunately. Okay. Please work. Damn it. Okay, nope, you're not going to work. Sorry, boys. Damn, I was really looking forward to that one. As I remember seeing this in my recommended about the time that it came up, I just never made time for it. Damn it! Okay, then. That sucks. Okay, well, I guess that gives me all the time in the world in order to, well, I guess that gives me all the time in the world to attend to the other thing I wanted to do tonight, because I was thinking, okay, well, what exactly am I going to spend time with if I'm not able to, well, depending on how long it takes to actually get through all of this, because clearly I'm going to need to focus on something, right? So, I had a brilliant idea. I haven't jumped into Fire Emblem Engage in a long time because I've been focused first on getting through Xenoblade 2, while also spending time spending time with Breath of the Wild recently so that I can be prepared for the Tears of the Kingdom video. And by virtue of that, well, why not jump back into maddening mode after not having played this for months? I'm sure there will be absolutely zero negative consequences of me for playing the hardest difficulty mode in this game without any sort of preparation outside of maybe just making sure that my team is at least decent. So, we'll see how it goes. So, first off, we will make sure that I've seen to all of chat, but from that point on, I'm going to be keeping chat unrelated to this to a minimum, because what I'm planning on doing for the maddening mode stuff is I'm going to be eventually putting out maddening mode videos as Let's Play content, but I'm going to be doing something a little different for it. So from this point on, I'm going to be keeping off-topic, well, once that we finish looking at all the off-topic chat, I'm going to be ignoring it until the end of the battle. So, let's see what else is chat up to then. Ace is the master of low-key shade. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry about the disappointment, Lou. Can I talk? Let's save it for the next variety night. Let's see. Since we couldn't see the video, not this time. Also, I just really want to get my ass kicked in Fire Emblem. I've been mulling over the script for when I eventually talk about this game for a while, since I've had very little else to worry about, so I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Let's freaking go. So, welcome to one of the paralogs. I am surrounded on all sides and greatly outnumbered. This will have zero negative consequences on me at all whatsoever. Clearly. So, our main objective is to survive, but also to make sure that this guy especially doesn't beat us up. So, I'll be very curious to see how this ends up playing out. Oh man, this is gonna be glorious. So, let's go ahead. Let me just do one last quick check. Am I happy with the arrangement? Okay, Fram for healing, archer, spear, axe swinging, yep. Dodge tank, obligatory dancer, mage, backup swordsman. Okay. I believe we are indeed ready. Let's see. Okay, audio is probably a little quieter than it needs to be looking at the audio balance, so bump it up a little bit. Yeah, that should do. Alright. Time to die.
Give me your best.
Okay, so what's the enemy range we're working with? Okay, so this guy has Thoron, which means, actually, remind me. Okay, so you've got defensive 14. Let's see, what does Alchrist have? Decent resist, actually, relative for archers. So that is a ton of magic attack, though. Let's see. Could Alchrist survive that, actually? So, what have we got? I'm gonna have to do mental math already. So, 31 damage if Alchrist got hit. He'd survive, but he would be in pain. I'm wondering that if it makes sense to put Alchrist there and have Seedall Chain Guard. Not the worst idea, actually, because I don't think anyone else would be able to hit. Because the problem I've got right here is that those two mages are going to prove an issue if I want to do the usual dodge tanking with Zelkov. So I'm wondering then if it makes sense. Yeah, the dodge tanking won't help Alchrist, unfortunately, so I won't be able to rely on that. See, there's no mages on this side, so I can just have Louis act rashly. Let's see, so that's... Oh, you're armed with a spear, huh? That's gonna complicate things. Okay, so... What's your range? Let's see, honestly?
Orders, please.
Sally Forths! Honestly, I think this is probably my best bet. Get him, suckers! Come at me, bitch! Hopefully I'm not gonna regret being that brash. Okay, so... maybe I should have given Kagetsu the Armor Slayer after all. Let's see, yeah, those are all great knights. That's the only one that can get close to us. Let's see... what's your attack range? Although... Okay, here's what we yes. No, don't Dragon Vein just yet. Unless I want... Actually, hang on. I gave you a poleaxe. That's probably my best bet against the Great Knight, isn't it? Because that'll be highly effective. Why did I give you Erica? It'll be fine. Alrighty. Equip that. Alright, switch between emblems. Remind me what the emblem's special abilities do? Okay. Yeah, I probably should have looked that up. I'm pretty sure... Let's see, if unit initiates combat with a physical attack, deal extra damage. Actually, I'm pretty sure that I don't need any of the specific abilities here right now. Because that's just for initiating combat, so... Oh good, it doesn't even consume my turn. Okay, it's initiate combat no matter what, huh? Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Well, if it doesn't matter all that much, may as well just leave it as is. Alright. Stay put. Okay, then all Chris. Alright, you've already got the longbow equipped, so we don't have to worry about that.
How mysterious.
Alright, chain guard. Then Zelkov step up, Dragon Vein. You are now dodge tank. And then
Here
Mind
goes.
Vein. Alright, so I can't use the...
The Divine Dragon looked at me!
Shut up. I forgot how cringe you are, damn it. Okay. At least bolster you a little
Shall I
bit.
go?
Getsu can be
Devoted
kept
to you.
there. Alright. Actually, you know what? No reason not to chain guard, so let's go. And then Kagetsu can just sit there looking pretty for the moment. Alright, let's see how they respond. Oh, I don't get to have Zelkov be the dodge tank after all. Wait, you're doing that much? I thought you were supposed to be tankier than that, Louis. I'm gonna regret having you go that far out, aren't I? Oh crap! Oh wait, I thought for a second you were targeting Seagull and I was worried. Okay. Oh wow, thanks to Luna, you almost killed outright. Nice. Seal resistance. See, that was the damage I was expecting. Although, actually, wait, the Axe Swinger might be enough to take you down, won't he? Jeez! That much damage, huh? Huh, okay then. Luckily, it seems that Panette worked out just fine. Okay, so now that I'm... Oh, you know, we're this early in. Let's just do an early reset. Okay, then. Huh, I did not expect that much damage to pour out of him. Okay. Shame I don't have a Flame Lance yet. That would make Louis a lot more useful to that direction. Although, real quick, I wonder if Ivy could be useful at all down that corridor. Let's see, so we've got... Actually, 41 versus... Huh, you've got higher physical defense than I realized. Huh. Let's see, we've got that Archer to worry about, but maybe putting Ivy just in range of one of them to just demolish this one. I mean, what's the speed on you right now? Oh wow, even with the extra weight, you can already double? Huh, okay. Alright. Luckily then, it looks like we've got a relatively straightforward circumstance. Alright, that's what I get for being careless.
I hear you.
Alright, so get into range of only the Spearman, and that should suffice.
Understood.
Let's see. Although, how much damage would Panette take if she got hit?
With elegance.
Well, let's see. Items. Alright, quick poleaxe. Alright, so if you got hit... Alright, 37 versus 13. So you take... Although... You are... You do have a bit of self-healing if I switch to Ephraim's buff on the next swing. So that's honestly not the worst... That's not the worst amount of damage you can take. So actually, I think we're gonna let
Steward's ready.
Fram Chain Guard here instead. That should be fine. Actually, in that case, maybe I should have had Louis step up and Rider's Bane through here. Wonder if that would be any more effective. Let's see, how much damage can you get out of Rider's Bane? Alright, not as much as Panette. Although you would be more resilient. We'll manage. In theory, anyway.
I'm ready.
Okay.
The choice is yours.
Chain Guard. And, since I wasn't able to do anything through here... Although... Would he be attacked by the people I want him to be attacked by? Because if one of the armored dudes take a swing at him, it's... Well, not gonna work out for me. Nah, play it safe. Alright, keep Louis waiting in the wing, keep Kagetsu waiting in the wing, and we'll see what happens. Alright, anything different?
I've got you.
Alright. Chain Guard. Wait, I thought it would double. Maybe it has to be more than 4? Probably should have switched to Hellfire then. Okay, so Chain Guard keeps all Chris safe. Thanks to Luna, you almost kill again. Good. Alright, so how much damage is going to be inflicted? Decent amount looking at that. Damn. Not as high of a crit rate as I was hoping for either. That's going to be rough for a while. Hey, don't do that! I was killing that! Luckily, it looks like none of the other enemies were triggered as well, so I think my best bet... Let's see... Yeah, you could have just straight up killed with Hellfire. Okay, I misplayed that. We'll see if it comes back to bite me in the ass, I suppose. Okay, so it's still unsafe to bring Louis out this direction because... Oh, actually, that guy didn't. Huh. They're not swarming me all at once. That's interesting.
I will not lose.
How effective would you be if I threw you this way? Not very. That is a high crit rate, though, which is nice, but... Alright, so how much damage would you give and take? Alright, as expected, you're gonna do a flat goose egg to them. Let's see. You have the Levin sword, so you can at least bat him around, although it's not as good as Alir's Armor Slayer, most likely. Speaking of which, Armor Slayer. Ugh, never mind. Yeah, this is just gonna be rough, boys. I should have brought a second mage in by the looks of it. Still... You know, it's probably worth taking a risk on this, then. Let's see. Wow, really? Never mind. We might be here a while. Unless I want to... Actually, that might be the play. Okay, step 1. Bram. Heal Panette.
Yeah, thank you kindly.
And then,
Verily.
next on the chopping block, we're gonna have you engage.
Let's get brawling.
And that opens up use of the rapier. That is not gonna do nearly as much as I hoped. Damn it. Okay, never mind. Alright. Not a good plan there. Okay, in that case, we're just gonna have Zelkov hold fast with Dragon Vein. Let's see, what's the hit rate right now? Okay, 79%, so he'll only get a 19 when you throw the Dragon Vein into play. Potentially even less, given the circumstances. Oh, Chain Guard, that's precious. Die! Thank you, Alacrity.
I did that.
Good work, buddy. Actually, that is a legitimate concern, isn't it? Guess I can have you back off with the dance over that way if I care enough. Let's see, we've got a couple people armed with swords, so I think what we do is we have Panette just swing wildly to take this one out. Unnecessary crit?
Allow me.
I don't play nice.
Unnecessary crit.
I'm sorry you had to see that.
I'm definitely not getting that crit when I need it later, right? Alright. Since we've got axe swingers to worry about since we have swordsmen that could inflict break on Panette, we'll have Louis step up and just trade back and forth. Alright, doubled, but not substantial damage, so should be survivable. Now, what have we got to deal with here? Okay, so 24 damage. What's the guy's movement range? Let's see. 1, 2, 3... Okay, so this guy won't be able to reach Ivy if I have her go over here and rain Hellfire. She's gonna be hurting. Yeah, I definitely help looking at Sue. There we go.
Unforgivable.
So far, so solid. Minus the parts that aren't solid, but never mind. Okay, now what makes the most sense? I could use... Who should I have Seadoll dance for? Because I can have Seadoll dance for Ivy, well, for Bram, in order to get Ivy healed back up. Or I could put a dance on Alchrist, and hope that's enough to, well, allow him to snipe at this guy some more. Although the problem is that we risk getting this guy's attention and causing all sorts of trouble for ourselves. Alright, so you've got very low magic resistance right now. And that is Hellfire, so that would hurt like hell. You would survive. So you can survive any one target. The problem is that if I have you equip something like the good bow, you could easily kill the target and then an archer could come along and finish you off. So I think we'll dance to get our healer in play.
I feel great.
And that will allow us to... Let's see, I think we'll be fine with just a normal heal.
Thank you.
Excellent. Now, do I want to mess with anything else while I'm here? No, you need to Dragon Vein. As amusing as it would be to try and get some other circumstances in our favor, I don't think it makes sense to do anything more than that right now. No, there's a chance of inflicting breaks, so don't take that risk yet. Magic resistance you have? A little bit more. What's the special ability? Ugh. You're starting to add seals to people, huh? That's gonna suck. Well, I guess we'll just call the turn there then. As expected. What the hell?! You're supposed to be a dodge tank! Where's the dodge? Oh shit. That guy needs to die immediately. I did not think that they would actually try and break those open. Okay, that's actually really bad for me. Holy crap, that is actually very bad for me. You don't kill unless you get a lucky crit. Is it worth engaging? Let's see. Let's find out if it's worth engaging.
Engage!
Alright, how dangerous is Astra Storm if you use the best weapon? Not as effective as I would have hoped. Oh wow, you can hit basically everyone, can't you? That's nice. Okay, so you can't kill with Astra Storm. What can you do damage-wise? Okay. Solid chance of killing if you engage for the killer bow, but is it worth doing that right now? Honestly, to keep you from breaking that open, it might be worth. It might be worth it. Alright, you won't be able to quite kill unless I do something like put a Leer next to you. But you should be able to set it up for someone else like Kagetsu to have it out. Alright then. Actually, who needs the experience more? Not Kagetsu, that's the main thing. Okay, so, Levit Sword. And then, Murder Sword. That's clearly a word. Never mind Hellfire. Yes, I am already panicking. Shut up. Wow, really? That's a useless level up, relatively speaking. Let's see, how effective is the Radiant Bow for this? Oh, not bad, actually. Huh.
Oh. Whatever you require.
You've taken a decent beating, so I'm wondering if it makes sense to hit Panette's engage to try and tear open their formation a little bit. Let's see, we've got Axe Swingers. Actually, you know what? That's not the worst idea, I think. Problem is, I don't have a good place to plop down anybody else at the moment. Let me think. What makes the most sense? If I use any engage hits, which should I use? Because we've got this group that's overwhelmingly gunning for us right now. I do know reinforcements show up at some point during this battle, but I can't quite recall when. That's going to throw a wrench in the gears no matter what I try.
Give me work.
Let's see, so you've got seal resistance applied to you, so if a mage hits you, you're going to be in trouble. We need that guy dead. Let's see, if that breaks, we'll have that corner to worry about, but I think I can still make it work, because until this group starts gunning for us more explicitly, we've got them well choked. So I think I've got the means to manage it, just to give a bit of a contrast, so that I know what I'm working with. Okay, so Torrential Roar, as expected, isn't going to do much to the armored dudes. So my best bet, in order to get through this, would probably be to get Ivy back on her feet.
Thank you.
And start making make even more mincemeat out of these armored dudes. Oh, right, the archer. So you can't get close to there until that archer is turned into dust. Alright, here's what we do. I think we Vein of Fog here, redeploy Louis to that side of the battle. And the problem is that he doesn't have a good weapon to deal with armored dudes. Although, the goal is just to put someone in the way, though. So, I don't necessarily need anything super complicated. Problem is, I can't break that, and that's going to crack open. Well, let's start with this.
May I assist? Again!
Alright. I think what we'll do then, we'll go ahead and use a heal staff to make sure Zelkov can withstand whatever comes next.
You have my gratitude.
Alright, that should be fine. Alright. And since I don't want to waste too much more off the elixir...
Your orders?
Actually, remind me, what's... Alright, so you've got the Armor Slayer as well. But that's about the only thing you can be useful with, unless I want to hit the engage button. So I guess for now then, shred that guy.
Pardon me.
Unforgivable.
I really should have gotten you Thoron. Oh wow, that's pretty damn close. Not bad for just a hand axe. What happens if you engage?
Emblem, engage!
You're not in a position where you could kill them. What if you Twin Strike? Is that overkill? Huh, not as much overkill as you might think. And it equips a rapier to where you can't be broken in the next exchange. Alright, I think that's worth.
If this is war, so be it.
Bam.
Why do we repeat our mistakes?
Good work. Oh, nice. That's some good level up. I am happy with that exchange. Very good. And then, Dragon Vein. Okay. Ooh. Alright. Now we find out if I regret my life. Oh. Interesting.
Hey!
Ooh, that... oh crap, that could actually lead to Panette's death. That could unironically kill Panette. You were too good! You were too good! Alright, so does the rest of my plan work at least? Yes. Okay, so that part's fine. That's broken open, but by this point, most of the enemies around there have been dealt with, or are in a position to be dealt with, more to the point. Oh my gosh, at least to Alir's death too? That's hilarious!
I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, so Panette was so powerful, she got herself killed because of that power. That is amazing. In that case, do I want to change things up at all? Let's see. You are currently still in range of both Berserkers. Problem is that Alir's not exactly... Actually, in that case...
Emblem engage.
I have an idea. But it will confine me to using... Instruct would make the difference. The problem is that this prevents me from being able to use the turn refresh. Well, it confines how much I can use the turn refresh, and this is the nuclear option. Is it worth invoking this right now? Honestly? We'll try it. We've already compelled a reset, so we may as well experiment, right? Alright, Vein of Fog. And to make the difference for Panette, we'll keep her close by. The next question, do I... no, I don't want to burn too many engages yet. Equip Revanche. Maybe we'll get lucky and get a straight crit. Or maybe that'll be unlucky again. Alright, Berserker coming at you again. There, that's the difference. And now I don't care if you get the kill, because it's amazing for us. But wait, why are you coming after us instead of the swordsman? That would have been far more useful to lead with. Unless you think that you do the most damage, which, to be fair, you probably do, but you actually land the damn hit. Oh, now you're working with me, great!
That's how a lady does it.
Yes. I live for the simple things. Like watching an enemy get utterly munched by getting enemy rounded. Oh my gosh, if that had crit. Alright, so that falls. And the mage steps up. Alright, this is what I was expecting, because this is going to inflict break. And that's Panette's turn done. And that's that section done as well. Stop it. You're annoying. Nobody likes you. Why are you doing this? You scum. Ah, yes. The I'm not done throwing reinforcements at you. Screw you. Everyone's bloody favorite. Okay. Now that we're at this stage, the major threat along this axis, now that we've got another way open. To be fair, there aren't a whole lot of enemies down this way that I have to worry about yet. Operative word being yet. But, let's see, so we've got paladins, so Ivy's not going to be as useful down that lane. So I'm thinking what makes the most sense is this. Let's see, we've got the mage. I'm pretty sure we want to take out this turn. So this is the effective range that I need to be mindful of for Ivy. So she can't deal with that armored dude, but if I move Fram or Alchrist out of the way, she should be able to munch that one without any concern. At least in theory. Makes me wonder if I should try and back over this way, try and get a bit of distance here, although I know that enemies do pop out from basically every direction. Worth considering, perhaps. Overloading in power, where have I seen this? Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm totally not dead yet. It'll be fine. Totally. Although, if that's a paladin, I can just run a rampage, can't I? Oh, you double? Ugh. Is it because I don't have the +3 to speed anymore? Also, I need to get your build up. Holy crap. Let's see. So what kind of nonsense am I working with here? I have an idea. we're going to engage in... Well, if I'm gonna be forced to use the turn refresh anyway, I may as well lean heavily into it. But here's what we're gonna do. Step 1, Ivy is going to use... Let's see. Does this make the most sense? Let's see. First off, Ivy is just going to do her best to take this guy down.
I have it! You're a tough one!
That made the difference. Nice. Glad I put Lucina onto Louis. Alright, that's 1 down. Next on the docket, we're going to engage.
The time has come.
Which will allow me to strike at you and lock both you and that other armored unit down completely, while also applying poison. You are now immobile, as well as these two. Not that it matters much, given that guy has physic.
This isn't so bad.
Now here's the part that I didn't think through very far. I want someone over there who... Actually, wait a minute. Hey, Fram. Want to throw some hands?
Pardon me.
That's a starting gambit, so that'll be fine. And then we're going to hit the Goddess Dance button to get all 3 of you back on your feet.
Let the lesson begin.
Now that I think of it, I don't think I've ever seen that animation when it's a Lear. Huh. Interesting. Funny how that works out. Oh, perfect. You even get a bunch of experience for your troubles. Even better. Okay, now. How much damage can Alchrist do to this posse? Not a lot right now. Okay, then. Let's see. Oh, wow, you can just straight up hecking take that... Oh, right, because you hit the... Right, because... I forgot. Dreadful Aura. Well, okay, no, it's Draconic Hex that applies that. Still, useful bloody stuff. Okay. Now that we're at this stage... Alright, so we've locked down those, but we've still got the Swordsman and the Archer. So the question... And the problem is... The Archer is the real problem, and I don't have an easy way of reaching said Archers. So the question is, how do we want to play that? I think what makes the most sense is if you can just... Can someone say... Actually, am I overdoing it? Okay, I know I'm overdoing it, but how much am I overdoing it, realistically? I wonder if Kagetsu would be okay if I left him against that swordsman by himself. Hey, Panette, can you kill this art? Can you kill this dude? Well, obviously, it's worth trying to have Kagetsu army. Okay, so that's with an attack of 19, so if you were to attack with your steel, okay, so that's an extra 14. So you do substantial damage, although the Great Knight would still be able, well, you wouldn't be able to do much damage to the Great Knight unless you brought out the Armor Slayer. So not great, but you'd at least be able to cover our retreats if we wanted to try and limit the number of enemies coming at us and get some emblem energy for our troubles. Because what I'm trying to figure out right now is how I want to lock people down or take people out. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Because I can realistically have Ivy just completely shred a ton of people through here, but in order to do that, I need to either get lucky with killer weapons, which historically has never worked for me. Problem is I need Zelkov to hit this guy so that him and the archer and the swordsman are locked down. That entire group, basically. So how do I want to play that? Because we've still got this guy who's active. We've got Alchrist who can do heavy damage to Sang. Oh shoot, that's a spear? That changes things. Ugh. Okay. much damage can you get out of Emir? Oh, wow. Not bad, actually. Let me think. Well, we'll go ahead and let... That makes sense. How much damage do you get out of the hand axe? Not enough to... Okay, yeah, you take more than I'm willing to give up for it. Could you survive if this guy attacked you? Yes, but you'd be hurting. Alright, I think that's the play then. Ivy, open the... Alright, Ivy, open the floor. Actually, you know what? Why take the damage directly if you can avoid it? Alright, Ivy, open the way.
For Lucia.
Nice. Just what I want. More moolah. Okay. Zelkov. Is it worth taking that? How much damage would I take from you? 22 and... No, you'll strike again is the problem. I shouldn't take that risk. Unless I want a torrential roar. Now doesn't seem like the right time for torrential roar. Unless it's hit you... the stiletto means you can't counterattack, but it's not like you can get much damage against the armored dude anyways, so... Get up. And of course you don't crit because you're not allowed to when I want you to. Okay, now, that leaves these three as the main threats. Alright. Louis can be put in the way, if only to body block. Ram, I suspect, is just gonna have to be responsible for taking down this dude. Let's go ahead and move you closer to everyone, since I should be able to lock down the rest. Alright, have it out.
Don't mess with the steward.
Who would win, a master of the mystic arts or one angry teenage girl? Oh, actually, maybe that's my best play. Okay. New plan. Alright, go ahead and just remove all ambiguity.
Allow me.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, now you're critting. I'm not gonna have this crit when I need to take on Ike, am I?
Yeah.
Alright, now that that way has been opened, let's see. What are my options here? Okay, so that's the amount of damage you deal and take. Not ideal, so I'll probably want to rely on Louis to hold back this tide for now. Oh yeah, that's good. Not a lot of damage perhaps, but it's something. Next question then. Is my plan to throw Panette at the armored dude a good idea?
Thank you kindly.
Or am I gonna have Alchris break out the Radiant Bow? Alright, 13 with a high crit chance. Ugh. The problem is that unless you and Alchris, I should say, are able to secure the kill, you're just dead. And I don't have Micaiah to act as a backup either. Okay, the Radiant Bow is the only one that's useful of your weapons. I've already burned 2 engages, so I'm reticent to burn a third. Well, let's take the risk.
Pardon me.
Watch, this is where I don't get the... Oh, I got the crit! Yay! Ambiguity eliminated. I can live. Alchris need only waltz up, hit once with the Radiant Bow, and lap and Speed Taker.
If I may.
Whew. Agreed. Alright. Building up Speed Taker. Excellent. Alright. So, everyone down that lane has been walled off. Now, how do I want to handle the rest? At this point, I don't think I'm in a position where I can easily deal with this bunch yet, so I think what might make the most sense. Let's see, we can have Alir and Zelkov head in this direction in order to secure the emblem energy, and then I think we make this our little staging area. So I think to that end, what we can do is just apply Rider's Bane here, hope for a crit, well, hope for a hit. I'm honestly kind of surprised I got that hit, but I'm not going to complain. Then Kagetsu can just get a bit of extra chip damage in, knowing full well it won't be much.
Allow me.
It's something, though. And that's the turn. Alrighty. Oh geez, that's gonna hurt. Oof. Big oof. Oh crap, that group's moving now? Yeah!
So your tail ends.
Rough them up! Rough them up! Stop it! Chain guard? Wait, what?
My turn now.
What? Isn't it a little early for that? I feel like it's a little early for you to make that kind of move. What? Okay, that's a problem. What are my options? Let's see. I'm about to lose Byleth. Damn, that's all you get from Ymir? Jeez, that's lame. I think my best option then, since we've got a bunch of people trying to funnel in through here, is to back off and regroup around here and swing up to deal with Ike. That's probably my best option in order to try and whittle everybody down, because as of right now, I have 2 engages that have been burned, including the really useful one. How are you doing so little? How are you doing so little damage? That is concerning. What is your physical defense? How do you have so much physical defense? What the hell? That's with Ymir. Oh god.
Handle with care.
I'm the worst. Retribution is due.
Let me think. Best options. See, those are paladins. So, I think what we can do is we can have Louis and maybe Kagetsu form a front line through here. Then maybe have Panette guard a back line. Well, the problem is I don't know how much we can... Do we try and loop around to... You know what? I think we try and funnel them all this way. I think that's our best bet. I don't know if enemies spawn from here, but I think that's our best bet. We just gotta engage in delay tactics for now, otherwise we're just gonna be in trouble. Alright, so to that end, let us set up what we need for Sam. Alright, so that's a bad idea. Well, you've got the Armor Slayer and can get the kill on this dude. Although, I've already spent a bunch of... A lot of damage required, though. Interesting. Kind of surprised that Silver has so much trouble getting there. Yeah, let's just go this again.
Beneath contempt.
Yeah!
It's over.
Alright, Dreadful Aura applies, so that guy's locked down again. Good. Alright, so we can safely take you out without too much trouble. Bearing in mind we have a fair number of well, let's see, what options do we have still? We've got Louis armed with Lucina. We've got Alchrist and Eric, well, Alchrist and the Neds, who still have their engagement. How much damage can you do? That would kill if it missed, but that is tempting. Am I just building everyone wrong, or is Panette just built different? Huh. It is a concise way to knock you out. Don't need to be that thorough yet. I feel like I'm overthinking this. Alright, then, yeah, you're overthinking this. Step 1, heal Panette.
Whew, you saved me. With elegance.
And then, you'll be able to withdraw Louis. Keep Rider's Bane equipped, though. Wouldn't take a bunch of damage from that run-through, wouldn't be a bad option. Although, hang on. Why am I worried? You have Alacrity. So you literally have nothing to worry about. Just hit the Alacrity button and call it a day.
Quickly now. I can't believe I did that.
Just keep building up speed takers so you can keep doubling everyone, right? That should be fine. How much damage can you get with the hand axe? Well, that ain't bad. Lead with that. You're locked down anyway, so you don't have to think too much. Okay. That done and dusted. Let's see, we still need to deal with you. Let's see, so they were doing about 11 per run, or per hit there. Actually, easy answer. Hit the instruct button one last time. Yep, just hit with Bolden on.
Pardon me.
Since we don't have very many other people who can swing right now. Now let's see, do I... Yeah, I think I danced to allow somebody else to knock out the healer.
Thank you.
Just to ensure that that isn't a problem. Kill!
Allow me.
As expected.
There we go. So far, so solid. Oh, good thing I retreated. I did not need that way opened on me. Okay, so Ike is making a move. Good to know. Alright, looks like everyone on the map is converging then. Damn. Oh, wow. I should have used Instruct more often. Holy crap, that was useful. Stop it! Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. We're gonna be here a while, aren't we? Let's see. With your current damage output... Ugh, it's a risk. Risk I'm not sure I'm prepared to take yet, either. Actually, hang on. You're one of the Great Knights. Oh, wow, so close. Although... it only requires one shot from that point. I only need Luna to trigger once.
I have it, and one from me.
I said once, damn it! Actually, can I afford to hit the 11th sword right now? I don't think I can. Actually, no, I can have you Dragon Vein over that way and be fine. Alright. Kill!
Pardon me.
Over so soon?
Yeah! How dangerous are you again? I give you revanche? Substantially. You ended up getting healed back to full from, I think, quality time from Seadoll, so your crit rate isn't as good as it was, but still. If I have someone like Ivy, soften him up first, you can probably just straight up heck and kill. Without much concern. Oh yeah, you can straight up heck and kill that. No need to concern myself. Ivy, kill! Please don't miss. Thank you. Okay, so there will only be one person who can hit Panette from there, but that's perfectly fine. Alright, take it away. Are you gonna crit anyway? Okay, good.
By wolves?
Yes, let probability work out a little more in my favor, please. Oh, man. Actually, you don't have enough movement to get up to where you can't swing at us, do you? That's convenient, actually. Panette's the only one they can hit if I have Louis withdraw. How much damage would be exchanged between us right now? Because you don't have... Yeah, you don't have an explicit armor slayer right now unless I hit the engage button. And it's a little too early for that since that Ike is about to bear down on us. I need to deal with you at some point as well. Okay, here's what we do. Wow, that hit right. Is it worth trying anyway? How much damage would Fram do if she struck out? If even one of those hit, it'd be fine, but otherwise we're in trouble. Problem is, I need Fram to focus on healing right now for obvious reasons.
You're too kind to me.
Okay. I think then what we do... Go ahead and hit with silver. That will reduce your back-end statistics, so... Whoa, nice. Okay. That's a much more agreeable probability. Excellent.
My apologies.
And then I still need to hit the heal button on Louis, so let's ensure that can happen.
Thanks!
Yeah, hit men. Good thing I got you a new men's staff. Definitely gonna need the money I'm getting from some of the people here, although it looks like I won't be able to get every bit of change. So be it. Alright, so, refresh Byleth. Huh. Interesting that you would waste your time on that. Rude.
You looking down on me?
Oh wow, that might have killed too. Nice. So armored units only have a movement of 4. Oh jeez! I forgot you could do that. I forgot about that part. Yeah, I need to withdraw quickly. Archers coming from that direction, huh? Alright then, here's what we're going to do. We're going to create an iron wall on this area. From which we should be able to cause all sorts of havoc. We need to get rid of those key adepts at some point.
I'll protect you.
I'm trying to think of what my best options are at this stage. Let's see. Better idea. If I don't make a move on Ike, I'm going to get overwhelmed. We are going to start moving everyone to where we will all converge down this hallway in order... Well, actually, the problem is if he goes out here, we're screwed. Do I have to play delay tactics? I think I gotta play delay tactics. Okay. That's how it's gotta be. I hope I didn't just screw myself over with this, because otherwise this is gonna get real fun real quick. I have no idea if my strategy is even a good one, that's the problem. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, step 1. Ivy's not gonna be able to withstand with that archer there, so just soften this target up at least. Luckily, you've got Orange Draconic Hex in play as well, so that should soften it up for Lear to be able to do something to it. I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. So, what else I want to soften up? Oh, actually, then I can open that up for Zelkov to steal, at which point I have my means to mitigate again. I'm trying to think of how many enemies they throw at you, though. Do I even want to know how dangerous this fight is in the original version? Probably not. That's as far as all Chris can do. Alright, here's what we'll do. Go ahead and take the kill with the Armor Slayer. Don't overcomplicate this. Oh, I don't even have to worry about healing you. Even better. Alright, you get out of the way and grab this.
Your orders, please.
Let's see, there won't be anyone who will be able to hit you. Okay, so are you armed with... Okay, you're both armed with Steel Land. So, I think what I'll do then... Louis falls back a little bit. Net falls back entirely. Zidal will be able to get out. Alright, Fram, go ahead and offer a light heal. We don't want to bring her back up to full, because then she doesn't have a full crit or full power level. And then, well, Krista's the vulnerable one, so he moves. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Alright then. Use Dance on Louis in order to allow him to open up a way for Kagetsu.
Thank you.
That's useful. Alright, Kagetsu, get out of range. Let's see how they respond. Actually, I can just let this play. Oh, hell! That was what I was worried about. Okay, so, Ike is still a ways away, so I don't have to concern myself with him just yet. But this is gonna get rather nasty if I don't eventually. So I think what we do is we'll make this our battle. Well, let's see. I think... Problem is, I need to open up the way so that I can actually set crap up. So I think what we'll start with is we'll have Kagetsu just one round this bastard, so that I have wiggle room.
I am sorry.
Okay, that'll work. At least as a starting play.
Verily.
And then we'll have... Let's see. Oh, actually. That's hilarious. Actually, since you're the healer, maybe we have you use that on a Oh wait, no, you're getting even more because you're next to a Lear. Right. Okay. See if you can just get this one straight up the heck out of here.
Hurry! Another surgery!
Alright, cool assist. Not quite enough. Okay. How much damage can Zelkov inflict? Ugh. Takes a nasty chunk in exchange, though, is the problem. If that... Oh, L Thunder too? And it's an L Thunder I can pilfer too, and I'm not going to get the chance to pilfer it because of all this bloody... all these bloody enemies to worry about. Okay. How much damage can you reasonably inflict on him? Not much. Okay, not worth worrying about then, at least in that respect. How much damage can you inflict with Liberation? I need to give you Speed Taker. What kind of damage can you get if you use...
Sorry, you're stuck.
Yeah, I know. If you use Astra Storm with our best bow, what kind of damage can you inflict? Oh wow, you can almost kill. I give you a stat boost. Oh wow, no damage to Ike? I have to use Radiant? Oh my gosh. I have to use magic damage to even so much as touch you? What's your... Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, where's that damage? What was that defense coming from? Okay, that's just innate. And it's gonna get even worse because of Resolve. Ugh. This is gonna suck. I need to whittle down their forces a little bit before I can get too close. Otherwise, this is just gonna suck. Although, unfortunately, Ike is armed with a... Let's see. So, armed with a hammer. So, Louis can be used for Lucina's ability, but he shouldn't be used for anything else. Well, I do need to open up some maneuverability. But I think what we'll do is we'll have Alir go over here. Do what damage she can to this one.
Allow me. Again!
No!
Wait a minute. Why did I do that when she can throw... Actually, hang on, you're a Divine Dragon. I need to get you a Silver Art so that you can throw hands. What am I doing with my life? Besides wondering what I'm doing with my life, to be fair. Okay, so that opens up this space so that Ivy can get a pot shot on you. Alright, that'll help against that one when we need it. Then I think what we do... Let's see, we've got our swordsmen damaged. They aren't the most important people for this assault. Well, for what's about to come, now. Let's see, so... Oh, Ivy's safely out of the way. We've got pretty much everything in the book. So, Annette with Revanche over there makes the most sense to me. Here's what we do then. Engage.
Won't you join me?
Alright. What do we equip? I think Repression makes the most sense, since that anyone who wants to hit from range is still going to be able to do a lot anyway. Okay, there we go. And then Annette sits there with Revanche. All Chris can go over here. Is that going to be okay? Alright, that's the only range 2 enemies, so more likely the archer is going to go after someone like Annette.
Quickly now! Guess I needed protecting.
Okay, good. Actually, hang on a minute. Depending on how many people surround, I do have Emblem Byleth. I don't think I need to worry about that just yet, but that is an option if necessary.
I will not dig this grave.
That is definitely an option. Let's see, so Sea Doll's safely out of range, so I think... Who needs more experience right now? And just based on stats... we'll give it to Fram. Ivy has ways of killing people. Fram is more situational in that regard. Alright. We'll use this to get Yeah, Kagetsus are more useful swordsmen right now.
I could quit.
I think Alear has been reduced to the role of rally bot right now. Alright, let's see how they respond. Not unexpected. In theory, yep. Bonded shield kicks in. I was really hoping for a crit there so we could at least enemy phase a bunch of them, but apparently not. Alright, so it looks like the archer will go for Pinette then. Huh. They're doing things in a different order than I expected. Alright, so minor damage. Nothing insurmountable yet. Got a small contingent coming that way. Look at all of it. It's so stupid. Remind me, when does... Oh, useful. Alright, so we've got the halberdier that way. So, we have to keep moving basically max range in order to keep this gravy train going. Not necessarily in perpetuity, but definitely to stay out of Ike's range. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we need to... Let's see, remind me, you don't have any range 2 weapons, right? Okay, so Ragnell is a range 2 weapon. But realistically, we only need to move, let's see. We don't need to move that far in order to stay out of your range. So I think our first order of business... Problem is, we move too far this direction and we start having people attempt to surround us. So there's a balancing act that needs to be struck. There is indeed a balancing act that needs to be struck here. Oh man. I'm gonna be glad that I... Unless... Hang on. I'm gonna need Emblem Corrin to severely lock people down in this direction, aren't I? Alright, I think here's what we do. We're going to migrate over... So we've got impassable terrain through here. So, we highlight this. I think what we do is we collect everyone in this pot.
I'll manage.
I think that makes the most sense to me. So, we'll rely on maxed... So, which emblems should I use, if any? Good question. Let me think. How fast are you? Okay, so if I chain guard, Alear will be fine against that one. So I think what we do then is as follows. I think since that you've got... Since that I can engage in a bit of shenanigans with Alchris, maybe, if I rely on doubles or long-range snipes, since that I've also got a couple bits of emblem energy. I'll be able to refresh Louis, for one. But I'm thinking we can have bottlenecks here and here that we can maintain while still having a bit of wiggle room to move people around. At least that's the hope. Whether it works out as such, I suppose time will tell. Alright, so... Chain guard there. Alright, so you shouldn't be able to kill Alear, and if you are, I'd be very... You know what, I'd be impressed. Alright. We'll have the bonded shield through there. That should be fine in that direction. And then I suppose we can let you maybe take a pot shot at somebody, since that you've got 4 uses of that anyway.
Engage!
Let's see, is there anyone that I can reliably kill with the weapons I have at my disposal right now? Alright, so this is the most powerful... Hang on, can you... Ooh! Do it!
By my hand!
Yes, let's take out one of the major threats to me.
I need to get stronger until no one can beat me.
Excellent. And now we've got an extra copy of Elf Thunder. Excellent. Oh, even better. I don't even need a lot of speed anymore. Alrighty, so let's keep everyone moving. Actually, I wonder how much damage Elchris can do if I throw him at the halberdier. Alright, so Zelkov can't do that direction. Nah, not yet. I think we can just have you dance for somebody else.
Great help.
Just to get you out of the way, if nothing else. How much damage can you inflict? How much would you take? Okay, so you'd have to equip Elfire to be useful, so may as well not worry about it. In that case, I think we'll just have you Dragonbane just to help Louis out a little bit, and that'll be our turn. I just healed Panette back up when I probably shouldn't have. Strange bits like that are always fun to mess with. Oh, actually. Let's play around with stakes.
Yeah, kind of you.
Excellent. Alright, how much damage? None! Yay! Alright, Ike continues his approach.
Don't think so.
Oh wow, you can double? How? I thought it was safe. Holy crap, if I hadn't healed, that'd be a reset. Well, rewind, but still. Honestly amazed I've only needed one rewind this battle. Okay, now that we're at that point... We've got an archer that way, equipped with a longbow. What makes the most sense for this? Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'll be very curious to see how this works out. Thought there would be more rewinds? So did I, Lou! So did I! I am amazed I haven't needed to reset yet. Okay, so the objective now, I think what we do, let's see. Alright, I know how I want to play this. But it's going to require me to inflict heavy damage against you. Alright, step 1.
May I assist?
You're too, quote, decent at this game? Hey, strategy games are one of the few things I'm good at. Let me have this, damn it. Actually, with Louis active, you should be able to kill this in one go, assuming that the chain attack hits.
Pardon me. Victory is mine.
Excellent. Alright, now, that's the effective range of that dude. So, Panette will be the one standing guard. Louis will act with Bondage Shield to ensure that Panette survives whatever comes next. I'm gonna be very curious to see how this works out. Oh god. This is gonna be utterly fascinating to see how it all files in. I'm gonna file everybody in, actually. Alright, I think my best bet in order to make sure there's enough space... Probably should have had Seagull or someone else. Okay, here's what we'll do. Hit the elixir. Is Zelkov gonna be... Hang on a minute. Oh god! Zelkov's gonna be in firing range. Okay, this is about to get super serious. Because this is the extent of where Panette can go. Unless... Oh, I know how I should have done it. Damn it, I misplayed. It'll be fine. Maybe, hopefully, probably not. Alright. Dance to get Alcris back up so that he can get in range of the bowman. And open up a space for Fram to sneak in. Actually, you may as well go stand here. And equip your longbow. That should be fine. Actually, while you're here, may as well get a light heal on this guy.
Why, thank you.
Alright, I think... Okay. Now observe, as I put Zelkov in a position where he can be fired upon by an archer, a melee unit, and Ike. What? Wait, where'd Ike go? You hit that, you scum! Ah, you actually hit that. Nice. Okay, I can't tell where Ike is among all this. Stop it! You were so annoying! There's so many units at play that you just don't have the room to put them all somewhere. Oh, that's glorious. Okay. Huh. Still, this did have the intended effect. To some extent, anyway. Alright, with those there, I think what makes the most sense is we... What does make the most sense here? Alright, I think we call doubles in order to buy ourselves time. That's what makes the most sense to me. Unless we want to try and bum rush Ike. No, this isn't the turn to do that yet. But I think we, at this point, it's do or die, so we probably will end up activating all of our emblems at this stage. Alright. You can almost kill with the hand axe if you, well, given the circumstances, so I think what we do then is as follows.
I'll do my best.
Ram isn't desperately needed in order to heal anyone, so I think what we'll do is we'll move her out of the way.
Thank you.
Actually, that probably wasn't the best position, because... Let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, so she can't move there. So you claim that. Emblem engage.
Lend me your strength.
There we go. Alright. Now, you can straight up heckin' kill in one swing, because you're awesome.
That's
Yeah!
how a lady does it.
Is that how a lady does it? Let's see. Chris wasn't included in that business, but you know what? He has the power, and so he will use it.
Me too.
A good wind.
Did you get any experience from that?
One less fall.
Cool. And now that we're at this stage, I have a really dumb idea.
Emblem engage.
Do I start acting aggressive? Torrential Roar won't do much, but it will literally lock down the overwhelming majority of enemies. I'm wondering if what I do from this point is just have Zelkov lock everyone down and just start bum rushing Ike. I wonder how viable that is. I kind of want to try it. How many rewinds do I have right now? Almost all of them. I kind of want to be a dumbass. I kind of want to be a complete another dumbass. Is it a smart plan? Not at all. Is it funny? Yes. Very funny. And as my Dungeons & Dragons group has been trying to impress upon me for the last however many years now, rule of funny trumps all. Besides, I'm gonna have to eventually worry about these guys flanking me, so I guess we'll take the fight to them, right? Alright, so here's what we do to lead off with that. Torrential Roar on this group.
Out of the way!
Alright. All 7 of these have been locked down. And Draconic Hex has been applied to all of them as well. Now that they're at that stage, they are now at my mercy. I'm not completely able to go haywire, but that does offer me a fair amount of flexibility. So, let me think. Who is the most viable option I have right now to deal with these guys? Let's see. Louis has Rider's Bane. Yeah, I think Louis is my best bet.
I feel wonderful.
We'll work our way up using Zelkov to lock enemies down, and using every other engage button to cause terrible, terrible damage. Ooh! If I weren't worried about needing that for Ike... Set it up with Elf Thunder first. That way I don't have to burn anything serious. Alright, so Zelkov can be treated as safe, given the circumstances, so I don't think I need to worry about anything too stupid. Alright. You know what? Rule of funny. Killer Lance!
Allow me.
So your tale ends.
Let's see what they do. Ow! You hit that? You scum! Going for Pinette, huh? Well, I guess you did use a hand axe last, so it's not as if you're gonna be completely munched by revenge, so I suppose that makes a degree of sense. Hey, you were supposed to land the crit! We were supposed to have the funny! Alright, we don't need to worry about everyone else's movement. More? Oh my gosh, really? I don't think the game knows what to do with all these enemies.
Press on. Handle with care.
Retribution is due.
Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Step 1. I was kind of hoping that someone else would throw their hat in the ring for that, but so be it. Let me think. Yeah, for what I have in mind, I need... Actually, for what I had in mind, I need... What I have in mind, I need Finette out of the way. Alright, here's what we do. I know, that's a bad option. I might need to reset this. Well, I might need to rewind Ivy's act. Well, Ivy's attack. Okay.
Let's get brawling.
Yeah, I don't want to rely on Twin Strike just yet. That's a move you save for Ike himself. For now, I can at least open the way. Alright, revenge!
Let's have some fun.
The most necessary of crits. Honestly, Finette's probably gonna end up just carrying this entire battle. Alright, take your physics staff back. Actually... No, survival's more important right now.
Yahoo! He saved me.
Nah, that ain't worth the risk yet. Actually, you have the Manicotti, right? Not worth. Well, you get rid of this guy.
We could have been friends.
The most necessary of crits once more. Although, to be fair, that does save on a bunch of damage I would have otherwise taken, so I'm not going to complain much. See if you can take that guy out.
Quickly now. Another service.
Not done yet.
Good.
I need to get stronger until no one can beat me.
I have an idea. It's gonna be silly, but it'll be hilarious if it works properly. Step 1, lockdown.
I have it! And one from me.
Alright, this locks Ike. Alright, that locks everyone into place. And now we hit the instruct button. Bump everyone up a peg. We hit dance on Alir. We use Goddess Dance. Everybody gets back up.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Alright, multiple people now back on their feet. And ready for action. Alright, how much damage can Ivy do with L Thunder? Substantial. Good. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, now, I think what we do... that's not the worst option, actually. Maybe we do that instead of what I had in mind in action. Well, instead of what I actually had in mind. Still, let's see. I think what we do first, knock you out. Alright. Ragnell's physical damage, so 46. Speed of 20. Alright, he will outspeed Louis. Unfortunate. I'm about to get my best archer back! What makes the most sense for this? I do have my dancer once more. Oh, I know what I want to do now. I have no idea if it's a good move. Actually, wait, it's definitely not a good move. What am I saying? Here's what we do. Zelkov, take this guy out.
Allow me.
Not done yet.
Guess I did it right.
Alright, how much damage does Louis deal when striking at him? Not a whole lot. Okay. How much damage does Panette deal?
Simply wonderful.
Because depending on that answer, I could have all sorts of fun with Bondage Shield.
'Tis I.
Okay. I believe that is worth the risk. Actually, with everybody stacked up as they are.
Won't you join me?
I don't even have to worry over much, do I? There is a risk of Louis still being munched. But, let's start simple.
I cannot allow this.
Hiya!
That's on me.
Alright, let the exchanges commence. Oh crap, that much? Okay, mistakes were made. Okay, this is a bad plan. Most likely, Seadoll dies as well. I'm honestly surprised Seadoll didn't die. Oh wow, it was close though. Okay, knowing that. Okay, so a little too aggressive. Let's start from the beginning of the player phase then. And go back to our original idea of stalling this. Bearing in mind that at the health Louis is at, he should not be on the front. So I think what we'll do is we'll line Panette and Zelkov up here.
I will not lose.
In order to quickly shred anyone who tries anything in that direction.
If I may.
Alright, so you take the heavy... Ooh!
Victory is mine!
From one bit of luck to another on that exchange. I'll take it.
Hurry!
Me too!
A good wind.
Alright, that one's down. Oh, actually, you still have the physics staff, don't you?
Simply wonderful. With elegance.
Actually, no. Just affect you can. Actually, I may as well have fun dealing with those guys since they're going to eventually be a problem. Alright, let's see how they respond to this.
I'll beat you to a pulp.
How did that hit?
I'm sorry you had to see that.
Oh crap! Wait, you're going for a Panette? Oh, actually, I might have just happened upon the solution. I think I've got him now. The way enemies are stacked up, the only one who can attack us from that direction now is Ike. Which means all I have to do is put Louis in the entrance to the other spot and keep him healed. Wait, what? Okay, that scared me for a second. Alright, reinforcements. Where are they popping in? Okay, good. Alright, I think it's time to start ripping and tearing, huh? The only problem is I need someone to stand here and just keep laying down the law. Well, I need someone who can stand over here is the issue. How much damage can you inflict? None at the moment. I'll probably need to risk Zelkov taking us. Oh wow, really? Wait a minute, what am I worried about? Alright, time to start ripping and tearing.
May I?
You're ordering.
Cool. And that inflicts Draconic Hex. Putting you in easy kill range of somebody else. I wonder how well Kagetsu would withstand if I plop him down. Probably do quite well, honestly. Alright, let's have Louis. Since that I can't have him near...
Quickly now.
Hi. Focus on this. Nah, you're a major crit person, so I should have somebody else take that swing. I'm trying to think of how I can stack this to be
foes are strong.
most in my favor. Alright, here's how we do this. Actually, I'm not sure that it'll stack the way I think. I think what I'm gonna do... Actually, wait, thanks to Luna, that could still be useful. Huh. If Luna hit triggered twice, Though to be fair, that is a 25%.
You're too kind to me.
And now all Chris can get back in there and really mess with them.
I'm sorry you're stuck with me.
Not quite enough to kill though, huh? Okay then. Problem is I can't Dragon Vein yet over that way. What I have in mind. Think this will work? Let's find out. Huh. The Steel Blade? Well, damage is damage. Do it. Not like you can be knocked back right now anyway, given the circumstances. It's a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a risk, but... Oh shoot, I forgot to activate Lit.
I'm so pathetic.
Emblem, engage!
Alright. Start by laying into him with Revenge. I think that'll be okay anyway. Let's find out.
Hurry!
Hey!
Oh, that was what I was worried about. Okay. Now you forgot to steal your physics staff back, huh? It'll be fine. You're about to hit the Goddess Dance button anyway, so it doesn't matter. This is actually helpful to you. Sort of. Alright, Goddess Dance, go!
Let the lesson begin.
Excellent. Alright. Take your physics staff back so that you can at least keep Panette outside of Ike's kill range.
Thank you kindly.
Oh yeah, I have to deal with you, don't I?
Fine by me.
You don't even need Twin Strike? Huh. That's worth. Kill!
Quickly now.
It's nothing.
Why do we repeat our mistakes?
Alright, that should keep you well above kill range. Good. 0% hit rate. Glorious. Oh, wait a minute. Can I just straight up kill you right now? There's a good chance of that, actually. I'm willing to take the risk of that Swords Master going crazy.
Allow me.
Could have led with that, actually, given the Draconic Hex. Huh. Both of those crit, it wouldn't be enough, I don't think. Actually, if both of those crit, it would be enough, wouldn't it? Let's try it. I don't think it'll work, but it'd be funny.
You're done for.
Precision power.
Ooh, one of them crit. Alright, I'll take it. The next person he lashes out. Actually, he'll be able to live this round. Who's he going for?
I don't blame.
Oh, yes!
A good fight.
You went for the hammer again, and you paid the price. Whew, okay. I did not expect to win that without needing a reset. Oh my gosh. Okay. A lot of enemies, but thankfully, Ike got impatient, so we were able to see it through without concern. Oh, okay. Good thing I saved this for its own little thing at the end of everything else, so yeah, I'll take it. I will happily take it. Ike will end up going back on either Tamara or Panette, but yeah, that was good.
Great work. You overcame the trial well.
I don't know about that. I feel like I got lucky with you just throwing yourself in a choke point, but never mind me.
Thank you, Ike.
You should know that going forward, fighting's gonna get more intense. It's important to remember that you're a leader, and you must not give in to the pressure. In this war, there can be no retreat.
You're right. If we run away, the world will be covered in darkness. But
never mind chapter 11.
I worry that fighting this hard may be too much for everyone. Or too much for me.
There are people who need your help. Don't worry. You're more than capable. And when it seems your spirit might break, it's the bonds you forge that will win the day.
I'll hold your words in my heart.
Don't worry. If it looks like you've forgotten it, I'll be there to remind you.
You'll be by my side? Always?
Always.
Thank you, Ike. I'm glad to know you're here with me.
Never mind how the story ends. Okay. Phew. That all done and dusted? I guess, well, I'm gonna have a fun time on the next battle. I might make a point of streaming that one too, because that battle is simultaneously my most and least favorite chapter in the entire game. Because my gosh. Okay. Let's just make sure the save took. Excellent. Alright. I'll clip that out and work on that. I wonder how long that ended up taking. Let's see. Where did I stop? Huh. At 1 hour 45 minutes. Alright, I'll mark that down for my own records. Let's see. Oh yeah, I never did end up recording how long that battle took. I should make time for that. Either way! Can we try the video one more time? I've just had 13 turns of overthinking everything. I'm done. We'll make time for that video in the next variety night, and I'll make sure that happens sooner rather than later. Besides, I suspect we'll be done with A Link to the Past soon, so there should be plenty of time to work that out then. Also, my voice is hating me right now, and I'm gonna need it tomorrow morning to work on retakes for Tears of the Kingdom. So, either way, that'll be all from me. So, that in mind, what can you broadly expect over the next few weeks? Well, I believe I've made enough progress on Xenoblade in order to continue on with the Friday night stream. I'm probably just going to focus on the normal mode challenge battles, because Shulk now remains as the only blade that needs, well, the only quote-unquote blade that needs to be brought to S rank. And in order to do that, I have to fight a bunch of challenge battles and get a high score from at least one of them. So, I'll probably just focus on that on Friday, assuming that nothing else comes up. Assuming that Cheeto doesn't jump on my desk right now. Hello, dude. Either way, so we'll have that to worry about. And then Saturday we'll be back to A Link to the Past, and this time next week, we'll be resuming our Golden Sun playthrough that we started a couple months ago at this point. So, yeah. Good times abound. Good times abound. It's good to be back in this. Although, honestly, at this point, once that I'm done with Xenoblade, I'm going to need to figure out, okay, what do I focus on next? Do I try and go back to Baldur's Gate 3 and finish that playthrough? Do I try and finish up what I need to worry about for anything else? Do I try and get through Managing Mode and Fire Emblem Engage next? I'm going to need to mull over what exactly makes the most sense at some point. But either way, that'll be all from me for now. So, next time we jump in, we will have plenty to worry about for Golden Sun, at least this time next week. And yeah, that should be all that needs to be said. So thank you all for stopping by. I hope the one video we were able to watch was interesting, and hopefully transformative enough. Otherwise, let's see, I hope that it was a fun time watching me rack my brain to try and figure out a way through Engage, as always. So till next time, whether I pull this out on stream or... Actually, now that I think of it, I'm getting close to building my backlog buffer up to where I've got enough leeway if I need to stop working on Let's Play content, so I'll be able to start working on the maddening mode run for Engage again soon. That'll be fun. Already got what I need recorded for the first video, so that'll be nice. And hopefully it ends up being interesting. Either way, that'll be all from me. So next time we jump into this, well, this time next week, Golden Sun. Next time we jump into Engage, who knows? At some point, maybe. I don't know. It's a lot of battles that I have to think a lot on. So who knows how it'll turn out. For now, thank you all for stopping by. And it looks like... So let's see. Any more comments from chat? See in Xenoblade. Elma interaction thoughts? Neat little moments. Not much more to say beyond that since I don't have any personal connection to Elma. So that's all that needs to be said. Cheeto, quick, evolve and use Fire Blast. Clearly. Either way, I guess that's all. So, apart from Lou trying to encourage me / hope for my demise, but there we are. Fun times abound. I might be terrible at platformers, but strategy is one of the few things I'm good at. You will have a hard time seeing me mess... Well, if I mess up, it'll be obvious and it'll be glorious, and you will be able to hold it over me forever. Wait till you see Chapter 10 of this game. That was something else. So, till then, thank you all for stopping by, and I will see you all later. Take care.